Is training your kids like training a dog? Hi, welcome back to Supermom Knows Best. I'm Erin. All right, I'm going to say something a little crazy. Have you ever thought of training your kids like you train your dog? Hear me out. I know people look at me crazy whenever I say this, and I understand. But you train a dog to not poop or pee inside your house. You train a cat to use a litter box. You train your dog how to walk on a leash, how to play with other animals, to sleep in a crate, or to not jump on your furniture or your bed. Why is it any different with our kids? This goes back into gentle parenting, soft parenting, call it what you want, and trying to get the kids to just live their best life. I'm all for living your best life as long as you follow my rules. I am a dictator, a nice dictator, but a dictator nonetheless. When we made the decision to have number one was almost two. I made the decision to stick him in Mother's Morning Out 2 days a week from 9 to 12. Why? So he could learn to socialize with other children. He could start learning how to share his toys. Now, like I've said before, because my boys are on the spectrum, neither one of them was talking until three and a half. At least not full sentences until 3.5. By full sentences, I mean, 3, 4, 5 words. So I started working really hard on making sure the older one was ready to have a little brother or sister. So we started with Mother's Morning Out. Then I started to teach him to be independent. Not that he didn't want to be independent on his own anyway. He showed a lot of interest in wanting to be a big boy and do his own things, and I was all for it. By the time he was 2.5, again, he could not talk. The kid knew which cup held either milk or juice or water. They were all put on a lower shelf in the fridge. So he could open up the fridge and grab the appropriate cup. I had them filled every time I woke up in the morning or right before I went to bed at night. I filled up his cups and they were ready to go. Then I stuck all of his plates, bowls, and spoons and forks in one drawer that was low. He knew exactly where to go find a snack cup or a plate or a bowl or a fork because I showed him, here's your stuff. Go get it when you need it. Then I taught him how to work a DVD player and the DVR, how to work the TV, how to pull out a movie so he could handle all of these things. I knew by the time number 2 got here, he was probably going to regress some, as most children do. But if I said, you can handle it, go get your apple juice, he could. We also moved him out of his crib earlier. I didn't want him to feel like, the baby is now here, you lose your crib, you're being evicted. I didn't want that. We made a big deal about making his big boy room and giving him his big boy bed. And we did it months before the baby arrived. So then that way he felt special. He felt big and independent. So then that way, by the time number 2 arrived, he was used to his big boy bed. There was no problem. So how is this any different than training a pet? I'm dealing with a creature who doesn't talk, in my case anyway. How is that any different? It's not. People think that you can't train your children because they have their own mind and their own ideas. Well, no, they don't have their own mind and own ideas until you let them think that they have it. When my kids were little, the biggest decisions they had to make was strawberry or blueberry, grape or strawberry on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Which shirt? They both match. I've picked them out. But which shirt do you want? The Dinosaurs or Toy Story? You pick. Those are the kind of decisions that you give children. Not if they want to wear a tutu to Kroger. Now, a lot of people do it because they don't want to fight and they don't want to have to deal with it. So fine, if you want to wear shorts outside and it's 30 degrees, go ahead. Learn your lesson all day at school. Yeah, I'm too much of a dictator for that. Now, we had our moments. Believe me, my children have tried to test their boundaries. For example, when they wanted to wear shorts and it's 30 degrees, I would kick them out of the house. Before we left, with plenty of time to change, I told them to go stand outside, and if you could make it 5 to 10 minutes standing there in what you chose and fought to wear, then you could wear it to school. They usually didn't last. They usually came in very blue and warmed them up, and then we got dressed appropriately. I let them make that choice for a minute. But what about teenagers? Teenagers really think they have a say. Well, yes, And as they get older, you have to give them more independence because it's like I've always said, you need to let those little people grow into big people. By the time they're teenagers, though, you can reason with them. And they've grown up with a lifetime of being told what to do. For example, there's a special event at church. You need to dress nice. It's a special day. We're taking family pictures for the directory at church. But there's a bounce house. There's running around. You're going to be hot and sweaty. I understand this. I'm not evil. I will bring you a change of clothes. Pick out whatever you want to wear, whatever you will be comfortable in. But I am picking out the outfit that you will wear to church and for the pictures. And then whatever t-shirt and shorts you choose to wear afterwards, it's all you. You can compromise. You can talk. They're people. You don't have to just take, well, gosh, I'm going to do this and you're going to like it. Don't give in. They're children. They're second-class citizens. They're not adults yet. They're not making money and they can't leave. They need you to pay for everything. Don't roll over. My years of training has paid off. Now, again, this started from birth with both of them. Yesterday afternoon. Now, my boys get home really late from school. School doesn't get out until 4:15, and that means we're getting home at 4:30. I have 2 teenage boys. They're starving. We had chosen to go to the Olive Garden, which the closest one to us is 30 minutes away. Knowing that they would be hungry and knowing that there were a few things we had to take care of first, I assigned chores. I gave the oldest the job of collecting all the trash upstairs and bringing it down because the trash went out today. I gave the little one the job to walk the dog in the backyard so he has a chance to go to the bathroom before we leave, while I stayed in the kitchen making their lunches and making sure everything was squared before we headed out. Then I collected my husband, who was hard at work in his office, and we left. Nobody argued. Nobody fussed. Nobody rolled their eyes and said, oh man, I don't want to. Oh, don't make me. Everybody said, okay, and did what was asked of them. Now they're 14 and 11. Do you have children that will do that? Because if you do, consider yourself lucky. Most parents I talk to can't get their kids to look at them, but mine do it. They do what is asked. And when they ask us a favor in return, we do it. We have a mutual respect in this house. You do what is asked of you and life is good. I want you to consider that. Think about from the beginning, when they're little, train them. Train them in the way that you want. You can call it teaching. You can call it disciplining, but I think of it as training. Thank you for listening. I hope you've gotten something out of this. Please like, share, comment, and I'll see you next time.